Hi, my name is Adam Del Monte, and welcome to these little demonstrations here at GSI. I've been asked to explain a couple of things that guitarists are always interested in, and whenever people take lessons, the fundamentals are so important. So I'd like to cover some very, very basic things and give them a special angle of consideration. So let's start with arpeggio, which in my opinion is the foundation of the right hand technique. As you can see, I'm using an ErgoPlay, by the way, which I fall in love with recently. I think it's really great having it on the right leg. It puts the guitar in the old school flamenco position, only without having to hold it down and doing bicep workout. So the guitar really sits very, very comfortably on your lap, and actually has a great angle approach in the right hand as well, and the left hand is extremely free to go up and down the fingerboard. So first thing, arpeggio, wrist nice and round, fingers curled. Everything should be like a nice round line without any jagged edge, anything extreme, just flowing as much as possible. And of course the shoulder down, relaxed. And all you need to worry about is your fingers. So first thing, moving from the knuckles. That's the most important part of playing arpeggio and everything else pretty much. The other joints also participate, we'll talk about that in a minute, but the fundamental power comes from the knuckles, because when you move the knuckles, you're engaging the larger muscle group in the arm, and that's what gives the power of sound. So first, just put your hand on, so to speak, and feel the strings. And we're going to just do an arpeggio up and down the strings, very, very simple. So pushing from here, we just pull the string in the direction of in and up. And very important to catch the string right underneath the fingernail. And I'll talk about the different angles that you can discover here. We're talking about micromillimetric differences of angles of approach and degrees of resistance of the fingers that can radically change the tone color and the power and the energy and the character of the sound. But right now, let's just go with a very basic default tone. Plant your fingers right underneath the string. You're obviously going to make some contact with the flesh, but the nail is what is 100% responsible for the production of sound. You don't want to go first flesh and then go into the nail, because then you're going to get a double bump. That makes a brittle sound. Notice. See what a thin sound this is? Because I'm going from the flesh. So what happens in very fast camera, if you will, the string bumps off, slips off the flesh, and then hits the tip of the nail, and that makes a very skinny sound. So to avoid that, you want to put the nail right underneath the string and really feel the depth of the nail underneath the string and make a nice deep swoosh. You see how warm this sound is, as opposed to this is a skinny sound and this is a nice warm round sound. So before you even start exercising or doing things quickly, make sure that you grip the string from the right angle of the nail and properly right underneath the nail. Every single hit right underneath the nail. Okay? So once you've done this for a while, check out this little exercise. The first one is just double arpeggio, up and down, I call it. up and down, a very simple progression in the left hand, nothing special. Any excuse to just play stuff, but play it right. So here's another little combination that is a little bit more fancy. Here we go. Okay, you can use the same left hand chord progression, but let's just focus on the right hand right now and see what we're doing. It's great to, when you use the thumb and a certain finger at the same time, then you get a very strong emphasis on that finger. When it works in conjunction with the thumb, the finger gets an extra emphasis. And since the A finger has a tendency to be weaker, it's a great idea to do this exercise because it just wakes up and gives special attention to the A finger. So here we go. Okay? And the final thing I wanted to address in this little segment is tone color. In classical guitar, people move their hand very drastically from playing a very harsh sound here, having a basic default sound here, and for certain effects, which they call ponticello, they use it here, and then for a nice warm sound, they play closer to the sound hole, and even tasto, when you want a very extra sweet, delicate sound. And these are great, useful tools to enhancing the variety that exists in the guitar. But here's another little trick that you can do to get tone color change and character change without moving around too much. So it kind of doubles and triples the ability of tone color production. So let's see. And you'll have to pay very close attention and project your minds right underneath my fingernail. I know it's hard to see with this angle, but I'll try and be as explicit as I can. If I want to do a warm sound, I will have my fingers slightly straight, not too curved, but slightly straight. And I will try and approach the strings from more of a 90-degree angle, relatively 90-degree angle. Notice how this color is warmer than this. This is from warm to bright. And I managed to do all that without having to move around too much. So, what am I doing? It's a combination of several things. The first I just mentioned, the angle is more 90 degrees into the string. And this joint is a little straighter. I try to do that at the same time. I don't want to lose too much curvature because then you lose mechanic and technical physical control. But it is a little bit more straight angle, so it makes a warm sound. It engages the string in a way that makes a warmer sound because the angle of the nail against it is optimal for a warmer tone. It engages the wider surface of the nail. Now, at the same time as I have these joints a little straight, they're also relaxed. These joints are a little bit more relaxed and they give a little bit. It's like a very soft suspension of a car. They give. That makes a nice warm sound. See, I'm not pushing hard and the angle stays nice and a little bit straight. Okay? To make the bright sound, I curl the fingers considerably more. And these last joints here, they curl. And the angle of release is more outward. Now, I'm not a believer in this plucking, because this has a very nasty sound, but there's a little element of that compared to the other way. So there's a difference between doing this and doing this. The power still comes from the knuckles, but the fact that this joint is a little bit more firm and there's more resistance in this joint, it creates a much harsher, that makes the tool harder, which is the tool being the finger. And therefore, when you use it in that way, the character of the tool is harder, which translates immediately into a stronger, brighter sound. So you can practice this exercise the warm way, like that, or a brighter sound. If you want to know more about these different techniques that I have demonstrated, you can go on my website, newlearningvision.com, and there's different packages there that will explain things like that and other things in great depth. Thank you.